I'm Alice Clark. I'm a PhD student at the University of Sussex, and I monitor biodiversity along the Sussex coast since the introduction of the nearshore trawling bylaw. Trawling is a type of really destructive fishing practice, which I'm going to show you what it looks like in my mini ocean replica here. So bottom trawling is where a boat will drag a large net behind it and it will rake the bottom of the seafloor, catching everything in its path and destroying the seabed. So since the intensification of trawling, we've lost a huge amount of biodiversity in Sussex. We've got depleted fish stocks and a degraded ecosystem in general. So hopefully with this initial trawling bylaw, the biodiversity will recover. And my job has been monitoring this recovery. One of the methods we use is environmental DNA. So environmental DNA is just what it sounds like. It's DNA that's found in the environment. Species are always shedding DNA. So for example, fish will shed DNA through their scales or through their feces, and then the DNA can be found in the water. So if we say this food coloring represents the DNA that the fish are shedding, we can then collect a sample of water from the boat. So all the DNA that was in the water is now in this sample. And so we can pass this through this filter, which has a really fine mesh, and it acts like a sieve, catching any of the DNA from our sample. Once all the DNA has been passed through, we can then just send off this filter to a lab where they'll extract the DNA and tell us all the species that were found in our sample. So now it's been 4 years since the bylaw was passed, and we've got loads of data. We found over 80 different species in Sussex. Some of the species are classed as vulnerable or endangered, for example, tope shark or the European eel. So knowing that we've got these species in the area is really important because it means we can put in more conservation measures to protect them. We're going again out this July, and so we're really excited to see what we find and if we see any more signs of recovery since the introduction of the trawling bylaw.